It's fun.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler, episode number 272. Today's topic is Geek Adventures. Oh my gosh, we have a full house today. This is going to be... Let's go around the room real quick, get everyone introduced. Audrey, tell us a little bit about yourself. How are you? Where are you from?
Sorry, Miss. Did you call out me?
Yes.
I missed the
Tell
name.
us a little about yourself.
I am Andrei Savchenko, or Rust, more topically in WordPress community. I am WordPress contractor from Kiev, Ukraine.
Awesome. Good to have you on. Good to have you on. Mendel. All right, let's go to the next person. So, Raquel, how you doing? Mendel, what's up? Tell us about yourself.
That's messed up, man. No, that's cool. Go with Raquel. I'll go last.
All right, fine. Why not? Raquel, tell us about yourself.
I'm Raquel. I'm brand evangelist, and I live in Phoenix.
Awesome. Good to have you on. Robbie. Robbie, what's up? Tell us a bit about yourself.
How's it going? My name is Robbie. I'm a co-founder of Beaver Builder and an adventurous geek.
That's why I recognized you. I forgot. That's where we.
I don't. The last time I was on the show, I had long hair. Yeah,
I thought you looked vaguely familiar. I was like, oh, Beaver Builder, right.
Say, what about you? Tell us about yourself.
Oh, hey, I'm Say. I make WordPress, make WordPress, preach WordPress, teach WordPress, love WordPress, breathe WordPress. That's it. At Say Read Media on all the things.
Sweet. Steve, what about you?
I am Steve Zankin. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive.
Allegedly.
I am also the organizer of the Orange County WordPress meetup. And I'm the lead organizer of WordCamp Orange County, which is coming up in 4 weeks, June 9th and 10th.
Volunteers needed. I'm not doing it, so someone else should.
Nice.
Taco, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm Taco, community manager at Joost and one of the geeks who went to Iceland.
That's his real name, too.
Good to have you on. Good to have you on.
So good.
Val, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, so I'm coming from Transylvania right now, which is in the middle of Romania, and it's an actual territory that exists. As I said to the guys before we went live, I just put my dragons to sleep because that's where we live. I'm also married. I have 2 children. I'm working as a brand evangelist for security, and this is going to be my first time here, so maybe I'm going to be more quiet and just kind of
We've heard that before.
I'm kidding.
We'll let you.
All right, Mendel, tell us about yourself.
Of making you talk.
Hey, thanks a lot. I'm Mendel. You might know me as the guy at GoDaddy, but for today's conversation, more relevantly, I am the founder of Geek Adventures.
Awesome, man. Good to have you on. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me over at Jason Tucker on Twitter. My website is jasontucker.blog. And I do this show as well as another show on WP Watercooler Network called WP Blab. We do social media marketing and stuff like that. So feel free to go check that out on Thursdays. And yeah, that's about it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Geek Adventures. What's this all about? I got this email and this text message from Raquel, who's like, "Hey, so I have this idea. I want to get all these folks on the show." And then all these people started replying to these emails that got sent from the website saying you've been signed up for an event, and they're like, "What the heck is this?" And they had no idea what was going on with it. So, Raquel, explain yourself.
I feel like that phrase gets said a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Raquel hasn't heard that this week.
Raquel, you can now talk.
That is accurate, but I love people and will sometimes harass them to do things with me because it's fun. That sounds so bad. Okay. Yeah. Digressing. So I went on Geek Adventures Iceland with a bunch of these peeps here, and geeks is the word you're looking for there. A bunch of these geeks, yes. And I thought, and I'm like, oh, water cooler. We should talk about it on water cooler. So that was my agenda.
Awesome. What I love is that Mendel hits me up at the last minute and goes, am I going to this thing too?
Oh, I guess you can be on maybe. You founded it, so maybe.
Yeah, Mendel, how did this whole thing begin? Tell us a little bit about the kind of backstory here.
Yeah, it started with Camp Press.
What's your game?
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand why you're suspicious. No, I was traveling. Well, I still do travel around a lot for GoDaddy, and have met a lot of geeks, and I realized that a lot of people just like needed a break or needed to get out from behind their computer, and realized that this wasn't just a problem in WordPress, but also in big tech, in STEM fields and stuff like that. And so I made an effort to put together the first camp press in Oklahoma. And after that was a success, where it's basically an adult summer camp for WordPress nerds, I decided to open it up and actually make a company out of it. So we have like 18,000 members of Hiking with Geeks, and like the entire community all over the world.
Where are that's like a Facebook group?
Oh my God, my speaker went at the last second. I can't even hear you. This sucks.
I could do sign language. Okay, but where are those 18,000? Like, is that like on your mailing list or like in your Facebook group? Like, what does a member mean?
No, so we do.
GDPR alert. GDPR alert. GDPR alert. Sorry, was I saying anything?
Yeah, no, it's good.
There are hikes in Seattle and Dallas and Denver and Phoenix, all Austin, all going on all the time. There are 5 cities that we're in, so it's not just a mailing list. It's actually people getting together for free hikes, and these are people from like Microsoft, Google, GoDaddy, all these like big tech, but then also like people that are agency owners and web developers and mathematicians and scientists and stuff like that. So
wait, but how do you become a member?
So there are 5 meetup groups, and then there is a mailing list, but like, you know, it's not just mailing list.
You sign up for the mailing list, and then you're like part of the community.
Yeah.
I just want to know how to join. Like, come on.
I would say Meetup is probably the place where most of the happenings happen.
Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate that.
There's Slack. There's a Facebook group, but yeah.
Sorry, Slack is huge. Yeah, Slack. Meetup is
like 1,500 people, 1,600 people in the Slack groups.
That sounds manageable.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No, Slack really never sounds fun. So, okay, how did you then decide to go to Iceland? And this is your last trip, right? You went to Iceland, and are you like throwing darts at a board? Are you like, where is the most I can get a write-off for? Like, what's your strategy?
The answer is yes. No, I'm just like, I look at places that I think are badass to go to. So I just like, I'm like, if I want to go there, let's see if other people want to. And then I mail like 18,000 people, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you money to show up. We don't know you. And so I think this was like the 4th trip, which is cool. So there's like, this year, there's like 5 trips. Last year there was 1. Next year there will be like 10. So.
Wow.
Any previews of where you're going, where you darted next?
You just started?
Is that? Never mind. I'm not gonna.
Just whoop. Keep going.
Well, so we're gonna go back to Iceland for sure, because everybody loved that experience. And I'm actually talking with our provider about 2 trips. One for like night photography, have an embedded photographer teaching us how to do night photography and capture the northern lights in the winter. Ooh. And then same time, like springtime, we would go out and do the same thing we did in Iceland. New Zealand's on the list of places to go. Some places in the US like the Grand Canyon, things like that. So there's some stuff on the list, but say, you know, if you're on the email list, I could send you the survey and you'd know all the places. So.
Well, so I was trying to figure out how to join earlier. Come on.
Yeah.
I took the survey.
What did you say? Is it confidential? What kind of survey?
Well, can I say? No, I said New Zealand and Grand Canyon, because that's like my home, and I don't remember else.
You live in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
With the dragons.
That's why her Wi-Fi sucks so bad. She's at a co-working space at the bottom of the Grand Canyon right now.
So when we were in Iceland, we went to like a visitor center in the park, and we asked what can we see, and they're like, oh, you can go see North American plate, and it's me and 3 Americans, and they're like, oh yeah, we should do that. And I'm like, but you can always see North American tectonic plate. You just have to look down.
It's right there. There it is.
Yeah, it's right there. It's new for me.
But it was the skirt. of it.
Wait, how do you see the start of a tectonic plate? Like, what does that look like?
I didn't get to go.
Okay, that's not helpful.
It looked kind of like a ledge.
I was going to say,
A little bit of a drop off, and then there was part of it where there was a waterfall. Although most things in Iceland had waterfalls.
I don't think that was actually it. I don't think we actually made it to the tectonic plate.
Oh, really?
Sorry to disappoint you.
Tectonic plate.
He's like got all these selfies. He's like, it's me in the tectonic
Me in the plate.
Not the plate. It's like if you're in Italy and you're like, it's me in the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it's like that's not it.
Well, I think the guy at the visitor center just made it up.
Like what Hurst was saying, it was a tectonic plate. We don't know which one.
So the signage isn't so great in Iceland, is what you're saying.
That's on point. So you like go to the and it points like in 15 directions at the same time, and none of it in English. And you're like, okay, something is happening.
There's a lot of crazy. How fun was it to try with the language situation? Like, did you have a translator? Did you all just like muddle through? Because Icelandic is not exactly like.
Everybody speaks English though.
Yeah.
So we had like a huge valley to ourselves, like no other people.
A valley?
Yeah.
We
literally
met no Icelandic people while we were at the huts where we stayed.
They were on vacation.
The paragliders were Icelandic.
Yeah, I was hiking.
Random paragliders just came down while we were all in the hot spring.
Like they landed on you?
Yeah, well, they came down. We were like, there's nobody there, right? We had to go like across a river in a modified vehicle to get there. And then like all of a sudden we just
modified vehicle
paragliders coming down.
Oh yes.
Like
carrying
Mad Max?
extra food.
That kind of modified vehicle? Was there a guy with a guitar on the front?
Actually, there was a guitar in the front.
There was a guitar.
Nice.
The tires were the modified parts. So that they could cross the river.
That makes more sense.
Oh wow, you drove over, baby.
They got like nails into them.
Hey, there it is. There's the crusty bus.
Oh, look at
That's the modified vehicle?
That's a modified vehicle.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know the buses could swim. Like that was new for me. I went to the site of the venue before the trip, and they're like, "Oh, so we have buses going there, and they swim across the river." So I was like, "I didn't know buses do that."
Do they really call it swimming? Like the bus swims?
Well, I don't remember exact wording, but de facto, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So what was like? So all right. So Mendel, I want to get inside your head. As weird as that sounds, but. I'm so you're like, okay, Iceland. And then you're like, do you do some trip planning before you throw the idea out? Or do you just throw the idea out, see if anyone bites, and then do the trip planning? Like, what's your order of operations there?
Yeah, initially I did some surveys and stuff. Kind of like I did this last time.
You're exciting survey person.
I always plan my trips and vacations with surveys.
Surveys are so exciting, and I figured like, oh man, people are gonna be amped up to take this survey.
Wait, I just want to have a little WordPress moment here. What tool did you use for your survey?
It was Gravity Forms.
Yay! Okay. There's survey tool, obviously, so you have nice handy data.
Yeah. So I wanted to make it data driven, right? So I wanted to know like, what time of year do you want to go? How much do you want to spend? Like, where do you want to go? How like what do you want to get out of it, right? And so figured out all these things, and then I like hooked up with Alex from Firecask in the UK, and because he really wanted to do something in Europe after he saw what we did in Oklahoma, and he was like, let's do it in Italy, and I was like, Italy sounds cool. And then it does. What about Iceland? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool too. And so we'll probably do something in Italy eventually, in Tuscany. But that one, he was like, I got the hookup in Iceland. And so just went about planning it. So,
I got the hookup in Iceland.
Yeah.
Yes.
As an attendee, there was survey before event and planning stages, and it was like, so how good are you living in the tent? Do you know how to cook on fire? Are we
Can you wash yourself without water?
That's a fun survey.
Yeah. Well, the part of the idea is to like get everybody out of their comfort zone a tiny bit and have them learn something new. or have them connect quickly with each other. And so there are some very specific activities. We use these things called missions, and basically like they're things that you complete with other people sometime during the weekend that help you to connect faster. So,
you might need to elaborate on that one.
Your survey could be repurposed as a casting call for Survivor.
and it is.
Or Naked and Afraid, which is
even better.
Yeah, survey had me a little worried, to be honest.
One of the missions was I had to lead stretching with Joel, and we won. And look, I won a deck of cards.
What is that?
What is that?
Oh,
that's
Geek
the
Adventures.
logo.
Oh,
The logo.
Yeah,
I recognize it because it's a geek with a backpack.
and a hat.
And a hat, obviously there. So okay, so you led a stretching mission?
We led 2 like stretching sessions. So
It sounds really intense.
well, we did a lot of hiking, so it was
Okay. Well, when you say mission,
An intro,
right? You're like mission, and I feel like you're like gonna go like, you know.
well,
Fort
Robbie
River.
and Nurse did one. And do you guys have your
Crest?
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a crash. I'm passing clean
that's
to chat. I'm not sure if you can show it or something.
What?
So we
I
had
was
to.
a slacker. I did
We
not
had-
participate. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, Rarst. I was that guy from like the high school
You
group
keep
project.
you keep like I'm trying to give you half a credit. I'm trying really hard, and you didn't do anything. You know,
We were
like
supposed
stop that.
to design a crest or design an emblem for the weekend, and I wanted to put it on Fiverr, but Rarst wasn't too into that idea.
So,
Well, I can show you one that somebody did at another event, but we're in my.
I've
room
passed
now.
a link
That's
for
weird.
the one we did into chat right now. I'm not sure how to show it. Jason, can you
Yeah,
show it?
that's-
Do you have the
That's so
setup?
creative and artistic, and
Somebody did that
there's no
one.
way I would've-
Put it up on your screen, Andre. And then you can screen share.
What do you have to do? What do I have to do for that?
Well, you know how you open images on your computer screen?
I'll take
Done
care
that.
of it real quick. I'll take care of it real quick.
Jason can do it. He's
Quit the call and come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But okay, so you're designing crests, and you are leading
Yeah, there is
stretching.
one on Jason's
We
So-
screen.
We had fire starters as well.
What about cooks? Like, so what'd you do for food? Like, how
Oh,
rugged
that's-
was it?
That's a story on its own.
I want it. Bring the story.
We had
Yeah.
2 cooks. They stayed there. They ran the restaurant over there, and they are brilliant cooks.
Oh,
And they're from Bulgaria.
that was a
Yeah,
very
from-
short. That was a short story. Just so we're
Yeah,
clear.
the food we
Taco.
were very spoiled by food, so we had 3 meals a day, like home cooked meals from like semi-local ingredients. We were very spoiled.
Well, that
So
sounds
what-
terrible.
What's Icelandic food situation?
Most importantly, really good coffee too.
That is important.
Okay, coffee not local. So local was, I think they had meat from some lambs, like from Iceland,
That was
which
so
was
delicious.
delicious, and there was a lot of fish. So fish soup was a staple from cod, and cod there is like fantastic. All the fish I had over there was like on another level from anywhere else.
Because
Yeah.
it's like chilled. It's like chilled fish, right? That's
Because it's clean
It's
water.
fresh.
clean
It's
water.
super fresh.
Their names were Anton and Maria, right? And they were
Yeah.
great.
But that's actually
Oh.
easy to remember. It's like Marie Antoinette. That's great.
Oh wow,
And
yeah.
let them eat cake. Let them eat fish.
And they accommodated all of my crazy dietary needs.
That's what that was my next question. What did you do?
I figured
You're
that was your next question.
gluten, dairy free, legume free. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
Raquel told when we've met before, but this time she kind of went over her like dietary restrictions, and I'm like, how's she alive?
There's these things called vegetables, just so you know. I just want
It's all in the baby carrots.
to vegetables, also fruit. Yes,
and meat.
and meat.
Oh.
It's the food groups. This is awesomely interesting. No, but really, it is because when you go on these trips, right? Like, so I'm also gluten intolerant, and that's kind of a fear, right? Because you don't want to be like the one weird person who like everyone's having to accommodate for, but also you don't want to get sick because that's even worse. So like, you know, there's some hesitation sometimes to join on these kind of pre-built trips for that reason. So what's your policy for that, Mendel?
Yeah, the policy is fierce inclusion. So there's
that's a great word.
Code of conduct for the events and for every part of the organization is based on a hybrid of my own inclusive policies, the Burning Man Code of Conduct, and the WordPress Foundation's Code of Conduct. And
wait, so we don't have to pay you? Is that because Burning Man? So
the Burning Man. What's in the Burning Man Code of Conduct?
I can just gift you something and then I can go?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so,
no is the answer to that question.
Well, you know, I didn't want to call you out on your own show.
No, that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
Well, it's a barter system, right? I mean, what's the gift going to be? You got,
yeah, the gift.
Mendel, you seem like you're open to creative solutions. You know,
that's me.
I could make a great survey.
Yeah, so
I didn't know there was a.
I
didn't know there was a code of conduct. That's interesting to find out after the fact.
Oh, that explains. That's what I'm thinking.
If nobody told you, that means you behave.
Yeah.
That actually makes me think that was one of my favorite parts. Is that going into this trip, I knew two people. I knew Robbie and Mendel. I knew of Taco and Rurst. Didn't know anybody else. But that was
met before.
Yes, we have. Yeah. But that was kind of the beauty of it, is that you got to unplug and meet new people, and it's very much like an experience in like summer camp where you go away and you're like, I miss everybody. Let's be pen pals. It was,
and then you like never write to them ever.
Or take over a podcast. And,
yeah.
Or you harass people to come onto shows, or you know, there's all the social media where we get to bug each other on there. Maybe
so
more
they're
than
planning
others.
though. Like some of the people decided to get together. They want to have like a reunion in Austin, so they're planning a meetup. There were people there.
Yeah, there goes inclusivity, by the way. Having a meetup in Austin, come on.
Well, you can schedule one in Nijmegen.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, so now it's May, right? It's May. Okay. I had to think about that really hard for a second.
Still May.
Are you doing another Geek Adventure this year?
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, there's a mini regional event in outside of Dallas, because we have a group of I think around 4,000 people in Dallas, and so that's a camping trip, again, all inclusive, meals, tents, all that stuff. That one's a little bit rougher because it's tents. And then there's a canoeing trip that I'm doing with Sherry Walling in the Boundary Waters, and that's we're only taking 7 other people besides the 2 leaders, me and Sherry. And then there's the summer camp, which is the original event that started it all, and that's at Aaron Campbell's family's retreat, and it's awesome because it's actual like cabins. There's a lake, there's like activities, there's full industrial kitchen and stuff, so we'll be cooking again for everybody, and like it's pretty fun. That one's the most accessible because it's like I think it's like 150 all inclusive. You just show up, but we learned all these lessons the first year because we were like, yeah, just show up and bring your own food and we'll all share. And that didn't really work out. People were like, that sucks. We just bought a cooler and like we had to throw it away. So
and Robbie didn't bring anything.
Robbie didn't go.
Oh well,
I would have brought beer.
If he did, he wouldn't have brought anything.
In fairness, neither did Michelle,
drinking.
So
and you can live off of beer, so that's not bad.
That's true.
It's true.
I have to say too, whiskey was constantly being consumed at our adventure.
So
and the local stuff.
Oh yes, show that. Where is it? Who has the bottle? It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. So Iceland only has 1 tree, and it's like the birch tree, and they're little.
1 tree in the entire country.
1, and they strip it.
They cut it down and made liquor out of it.
And they're good at it.
And it's so good.
What is it? It's
Okay.
a liqueur.
Yeah.
Do you mix it?
Yeah.
Of
Or
course
just-
not. That's a shame. You don't mix good liquor. Come on.
I don't know.
I was so surprised.
We don't have that fancy stuff here. Just kidding, we do.
Just kidding.
Just kidding, we do. Okay, I have a question. When is and this is the one I'm totally going to go to, when is the Geek Adventures and LARP combination happening? Because that is really what I want to do. Because there's a lot of, the live action role-playing stuff out there, but who knows who those people are.
Thank you for defining that, because some of our audience might not know what LARPing is.
Well, also, they might not have heard me say LARP. I don't know. I don't enunciate always.
I will definitely if you want to work on something together, that's how some of these things come up. So I'd be down with it.
I mean, right? And everyone gets a character, and then
I think it's more inclusive to do box wars. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Boxwars.com.
Look, I defined what my thing I was saying geeky thing was. You have to define what your geeky thing is.
She's not wrong.
I'm not familiar with box wars. I am kind of curious.
Check it out. It's you make a cardboard box structure and go to war with it.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome.
So you're like LARPing as a cardboard box?
That's correct. That's correct. It's LARPing to the next level.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. My dog's howling.
It's all good.
So, and I have to mention this because that's my thing. So we had the slogan for the event, and it was Iceland is okay. That really captured the mood. You get on the mountain, it's like beautiful valley around, and you go like, yeah, Iceland is okay.
So what was the best part? Was it you guys were obviously immersed in nature? Is there like a no phone policy? What's your electronics policy?
Yeah, so it was pitched as digital detox,
right?
But apparently they have a 4G connection on top of the mountain and everywhere below. So that part did not happen, but people were kind of like in control of themselves. So no one was too stuck in their phone.
You didn't have to go cold turkey, but you could kind of wean yourself off.
Unless Mendel caught you and then he reprimanded you. That's how you know.
Although I got reprimanded a couple times too.
So Mendel, you have now a collection of phones that you confiscated?
Yeah, he was like the bad teacher.
Because volcano can explode there like any minute, so for them it's like safety issue.
Who's gonna post that on social media?
You need good connection. Yeah, you need good connection to Instagram that immediately.
Unless
Wait, were you by the volcano?
That explodes is the one with the antenna, then.
Were you by the volcano?
That volcano.
What's the name that's like this long?
The volcano that exploded and disrupted air travel and stuff. And
that one.
Yeah,
that's one we were staying under. So we were staying like right next to that one.
How do you say it?
I can't pronounce it.
No, take it.
You were living next to you didn't take the week to learn how to prounce the name of the volcano.
Actually,
how do you see their names?
It's something like Fjayokul, but
say that again.
Yeah, Fjayokul.
Fjayokul something. Yeah.
That's great. That's the name of my next dog.
Again, we did not meet any Icelandic people, so why bother learning Icelandic?
Wait, Marie Antoinette wasn't an Icelandic?
They're Bulgarian.
Bulgarian.
Oh.
Makes sense, right?
So much for authenticity.
Bjarni was Icelandic.
Yeah. You told us some things.
Are there any Oklahomans at the Oklahoma one? Like, are you just like a fraud?
Well, technically, Aaron Campbell isn't even Oklahoman.
Yeah, he's not Oklahoman. Yeah.
So fraud.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we got 1 minute left here. Mendel, where can people figure out how to join one of these social networks to be able to go on one of your crazy geek adventures? You got a minute.
Just pop over to geekadventures.org. The adventures are there, the meetup groups are there, and there's also a shop coming online with some hand-picked cool goods there too.
Oh, like the hat you're wearing?
This one isn't for sale, no.
Oh, jeez. You know, I tried to give you that.
He does have awesome flashlights.
What? Wait.
The flashlights.
Flashlights.
Yes.
Enunciation is super important for that word, just so you know.
With an
No,
A.
it's just to get your mind in the gutter on purpose.
And on that note, I want to say thank you very much for all of you, all 10 of you, all 10 of you for coming and hanging out with us on WP Watercooler. I really appreciate the time that you took out to be able to come hang out with us. Even some folks that stayed up really late, some folks that woke up really early, and everybody in between. So thank you very much for being on the show. And if you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, go over to WPwatercooler.com. And you can click on the links there to subscribe and to leave feedback and that sort of thing as well. Talk to y'all later. You have a good one.
Send all complaints to Mendel.
Goodbye.
Bye.